Hello everyone, and welcome back to Fableheim and the grand experiments of the Defiler, Iratus, Lord of the Dead beta branch version of the early access video game. We continue where we left things off last time, facing a question, a puzzle of sorts, that we must solve. We have been struggling a little bit on the third floor in the Mercenary Barracks against we are the monsters, against enemies that are highly evasive, remove debuffs, and hit very, very hard. And I have thought, long and hard, that it's raining somewhere. You get that reference, I'm going to be really proud of you. But no, it probably is raining somewhere. But anyway, I've thought long and hard, and I'm a stubborn man. Pretty stubborn. I'm Finnish. We're stubborn. And, we're going to lean into the debuffs. We're going to lean all the way in. The Dark Knight is a character that we haven't played that much. And by haven't played that much, I mean I don't think I've even used him, and the one that we had I sacrificed. So, here's his alternative skin. It is beautiful. Gorgeous. Even. But the Dark Knight specializes in stressing enemies out, and he has a stance. Each time an enemy receives a buff, which is his default, the Dark Knight deals stress damage, but we have changed it so that each time an enemy receives a debuff, he will inflict stress damage. Now, why does that matter? Well, we have a team full of debuffers. The Banshee we've used once, but I've changed up how I leveled her. I committed to the defense. I got her one block, one ward, and I got her some armor in resistance because in the back of my head I remembered a comment that screamed, "Armor is good! Use more armor!" So we're going to do that. And I've used a bit of our rarer resources because we had a lot sitting around. So I used it. The Wraith is still here, of course, because if we so desire, he has an excellent combination with the Banshee, where the Banshee enters a stance that whenever an enemy moves, the Banshee will deal stress damage, and I've upgraded that to give her one block and one ward while in stance for more defense, because when we pulled out the Banshee last time, she immediately died, so let's not repeat that. But the Wraith's Wrath attack is to move everyone and deal stress damage, so it's like a double whammy. So we have a little combo here if we want it. Otherwise, another thing I was thinking about is that the enemies don't evade one thing. I'm actually curious to see if they can evade stance attacks, but they don't evade traps. And who has the best trap in the video game? The Lich. So we could bring out the Lich, and another character I was looking at for debuffs is the Black Widow. Now we've spec'd her already to deal stress damage, but this attack reduces luck and evasion for 2 turns. Very nice. I do also kind of regret upgrading the Silken Pole to reduce damage by 40%, because if we went the other way, it will cause the target to lose all block and ward, which will be very helpful. Yeah. Regret. Hashtag regret. But that is a thought we can lean into later if we so desire. I was also looking at the talent trees as to what we want to do. And I think I want to get this luck. Methinks. So we need one more point for that. And then I think we should get this brain talent because we've been low on brains. But what I really want is this. The Finger of Death. The selected target loses 50%, losses 10% of its max vigor and sanity, removes all buffs from the target, target loses all blocks and wards, and ignores ward. So basically, this is awesome, and I want it. That's about it. That is about it. I was also thinking about bringing back the skeleton. When our first Morpain playthrough, I basically was carried by this ability. The skeleton enters a stance that gives it +8 armor and +8 resistance, and whenever he's attacked, which enemies are inclined to do in this stance, he will deal back stress damage. So that's always a thought, and of course the skeleton has the shield banger, the good old banger, which can be upgraded to force enemies to either go insane or to be inspired. So they'll have a sanity check whenever you use that, which is always hilarious. or we can remove all the buffs. But the Wraith is here to do that for us. So enough talking. I'm actually going to upgrade the group, I think. Or Iratus. Ooh. We'll do minions. Because I want the Dark Knight to get level 15, so we can upgrade Abyssal Hunger into Dark Greed. This will deal 35 damage to an enemy and heal the Dark Knight for 35. It's very helpful. It's basically the only reason I beat the third boss in our last playthrough. We probably just want this, right? Survival is pretty good. I think we're going to go with survival.
My enemies are in for a nasty surprise.
That also will give us 5 more vigor. Does Glutton's Tongue... Now, there are a lot of artifacts that read increased damage. Is that just attack, or is that also dread? I don't know. We can give him Glutton's Tongue, because we are still sitting on a lot of items, because I am quite the hoarder. We do have a level 12 brain if we decide where we want to use it. Minions become immune to debuffs. That might be very useful. But we aren't being debuffed at the moment. The enemies are buffing themselves and removing my debuffs. That's what's happening. That's what's annoying. Can upgrade accuracy again. The Shade. We should probably give you some more defenses. I kind of want to just max evasion, honestly. But we need 3 more levels. Is that too greedy? A little bit. Alright. Where do we want to go? We could try this out in an elite squad. It looks like we're fighting an elite squad no matter which way we go. If we go to the right, we get a chest. Also today, when this video is airing, should be March 12th. If it is, that is the day that the Mistover DLC comes out. Which means we need to hurry up. So there'll probably only be one more video after this. I don't foresee beating the game today. Lose 20 mana. Wow. Freaking rude, man. Minus 25 spell power. Huh. Did you already have a buff? Well, unfortunately, they have so many wards. Look at this ward. So I think we just get rid of that. The Shield Maiden's probably going to be an issue, but he is more of an issue. Maybe we could just... The ward completely blocks it, right? Well, let's just do this. So you can see it in action. He has a lot of buffs. We're going to wait with the Shade. We're going to wait with you as well. Actually, I want to go into the stance with the Shade is what I want to do. Also with the Banshee, if we need it, we have some utility. We can petrify the first 2 people, assuming we have the wrath to do so. Get wrecked. Yeah, so the ward blocked it. But I think what we're gonna do, we're gonna enter our stance here. If any attack connects, the Wraith will deal stress damage. Does Curse count? It sure does. Beautiful. And of course the Wraith is here to Void Claw its way to victory. So we do this. Are we going to petrify? I think we do, right? Yeah. Get some control in this freaking place. Good block. Good block. One's already insane. She is hopeless, so she has lost her ridiculous amount of armor. Beautiful. And now we control. And that counts as a debuff. Alright, everything is going swell. We are going to wait here. Let's enter our stance once more. because it's my favorite thing to do. That was quite the recovery. I can wait no longer, but I can remove these buffs. The Wraith hits pretty hard. The Wraith doesn't even have any good items, which is a thought. Imagine if I gave him items. I did increase the Dark Knight's initiative substantially so that he could be the first one to go, which turned out to be a grand idea.
This is my kind of entertainment.
You are the weakest link. Goodbye. Well, let's Accelerando. Reach out, Dark Knight.
You will soon embrace your new existence.
Beautiful. See, and this is what happens when you actually sleep on an idea. And don't just record a bunch of episodes in a row. Beautiful. Gorgeous. It's all coming together. We probably want to kill her if we can. I definitely want to do this to get back into position. Let's heal. That's probably the best part about the Dark Knight, is that he can heal himself. Physician, heal thyself. I don't feel like letting you do this, lady. The bard is retreating. Can I kill her? Probably not, right? Oh yeah, we healed with the Dark Knight. I might be able to kill her. I don't think so, though. Armor absorb. Yeah, he has so much armor. He has 14 armor. Isn't that nuts? Roll the dice. Rerolled, successful.
Excellent source of fresh corpses.
I don't really need to stance here. I upgraded that so it's just a huge stretch attack. Yeah. Hit me. Your feeble assault. And there we go. Wow.
My will is a tide that will wash away your pathetic civilizations.
Just take a second to breathe it in. An elite squad. Almost flawless victory. These two were scratched. Beautiful. I love it when a plan comes together. That's like the best thing about this game. You theory craft something, you try your hardest to bring it all together, and then you succeed. It's beautiful. And with the Dark Knight, we can upgrade Abyssal Hunger into Dark Greed. This will also give him 2 more armor and 2 more resistance, because that's what he needed, sitting at 12 and 12. Yeah, it's gorgeous. We could even upgrade his initiative even further if we wanted to. Might be time to upgrade his luck, though, because he's already pretty fast. I'm gonna do it again. For the Wraith, we want to upgrade Dread. So I guess we'll hold out. I also want to upgrade Warden block, but that's expensive. With the Shade, what are we going to do here? Upgrading attack could be cheeky because of his feature, which we already have quite a bit of evasion. Let's do that. We'll do it once. This is giving us 6 attacks, so, I mean, it's pretty good. Pretty good. We could even give him an epic armor. I gave him some blue stuff. I feel like the Wraith is deserving of some upgrades. I don't have any epics for him, though. I do have an epic rag. You know what, Wraith? You have served me well. So there you go, bud. Do we want evasion? I don't even know. Probably luck. Because we want to make sure that if he gets debuffed, his luck doesn't go super far negative. I mean, we haven't encountered a luck debuff yet, but just in case. And on that note of luck debuffs, and you may be thinking, what could possibly follow that transition? Good news is what follows it. There was a dev post on the Steam forum communities maboober that I'll talk about in a second. Devour Magic removes all buffs from the chosen enemy. Restore 5 mana for each buff removed. Huh. Minions gain +5 initiative but lose 15 accuracy. Nope. All enemies lose 18 evasion.
Finally, this item finds its way into my capable hands.
Yes, finally. That is amazing.
Transformation, the will becomes free.
So we're going to pick up this luck and we're going to pick up this sorrow. Or then we're going to head down this way to get the Finger of Death. Hopefully we get it before we encounter the last boss, but we will see. There's only one way to find out, and that's to go. We're going to be encountering a Dhampir for the first time. Which, by the way, if you don't know how to unlock the Dhampir, the Fallen Dhampir, you need to make 3 of these Dhampir go insane, and they're the last target. So, if she is alone in her squad while insane, the battle ends and she joins Iratus. It was very kind of them to tell you how to do it. I appreciate that. So, now talking about the dev post. Oh, this is the most annoying creature on the face of the planet. The dev post. Oh, rude. Said that we are a few months away from launch. Exciting. And it showed a sneak peek, we shall say, at the 4th floor, the catacombs. And it seems to be... We need to kill her before all of our blocks go away. It seems to be full of magicians and magic-related things. So, they revealed 4 new enemies, which is what that was the highlight of the post. There wasn't a whole bunch of other things. This is blocked by ward, huh? Okay, well, let's do this then.
My kingdom comes.
Just keep doing that. Huh. The Dark Knight can go into his stance next turn, so that's fine. So I wanted to take this opportunity. Wow. That was the fastest heart attack ever. I wanted to take this opportunity to talk about the new enemies and what I think about them. And I will put them on the screen. It's more editing than I'm used to. Usually I just kind of, you know, throw the video out there. Very little editing. Just cutting it to the beginning when I say hello. And cutting the end and inserting my little Patreon thingy. That's it. That's all the editing I do. So this is quite unusual, but production quality, right? It's a wonderful thing. So, the first of the 4 classes...
more than death to stop my legions.
Banshee was just one shot, wasn't she? Huh. Alright, well, since you feel like being so freaking rude, you're gonna join me.
Soon this world will be mine.
Wait a minute. The Banshee was one shot, but she's here? Oh, wait a minute. Was this a talent? I remember this, I think. There's like a talent where if something dies, it doesn't actually die. Where is it? I'm not going to be able to find it now that I'm talking about it. But there's like something where there's a 50-50 chance of the end of it surviving, or is that just for the golem? I'm actually now really confused why this came back. I mean, is that a Banshee thing? The chance of enemies' escape increases by 2% each turn until it reaches 10%. What? If anyone knows what happens I would love to know. I'm not going to complain. I'm not complaining at all. But, after a battle ends, there's a 25% chance that a killed minion will revive. Okay. I totally forgot about that. I mean, I'm happy. But I forgot about it. Do we want the luck or don't the evasion? I realize also that I was talking about all this great editing I'm going to do, and I'm going to throw in these things, and we're going to talk about some lovely stuff, but I just tangented away. Which, honestly, is very on par. On par? Par for the course with me. More tangents. Well, we're going to take this into the next area. I wanted to be fighting when I talk about this because I need to put them over something. And you guys have seen the combo now, the group composition, so I'll just put them over my side. And you can see the enemies continue to die and suffer. Unlocks a secret destruction spell. Chain lightning. That sounds awesome.
More for me.
What is this? Like, what item is it? Item slot. It goes over the ring. Well, now that it revived my Banshee, I kind of want to keep it. Let's give it a shot.
It embellishes my undead features, no?
I'm probably going to use it, honestly, to remove wards. Feels bad. I guess I want to fill this out. We need a Lost Soul. Also, the Dark Knight pairs really well with the Lost Soul. If you keep the stance so that whenever an enemy receives a buff, because the Lost Soul buffs people, buffs enemies, which I know sounds strange, and I still haven't figured out
unholy masonry
how to really master, but I can see the potential. It's quite cool. Alright, enough talking. Do we want Skullfall? Depending on what we're fighting, that would be really good. Okay, let's use that. I don't actually remember if the Rangers have Ward.
It embellishes my undead features.
We're gonna find out. Okay. Okay, they don't have any Ward. That was a wasted point. Oh well. It got rid of one for them. Downpierce at least did something. But okay. Enough teasing. I wasn't really teasing. But the first of 4 enemies, 23 minutes in, is the Sorceress. The Sorceress is a sorceress that specializes in healing magic, and that is always very annoying. Which, I think that's the first... No, the... Wow, you got rid of all my block. The Bard can heal. But... the Bard doesn't specialize in healing. The Bard specializes in being annoying. That's about it. So the stats for the Sorceress. I couldn't decide if I wanted to go down every stat because it's a lot of reading. You can see it on the screen right now. And if I do what I think I'm going to do, it should be over my characters. Some of my characters, anyway. Oh yeah, I forgot. That's fine. The Sorceress has 210 vigor. Quite a bit of vigor. Ow. Probably gonna have to heal instead of enter my stance. 45 to 51 attack, which is pretty substantial. 200 sanity, which is just as much sanity as the... Let's see this. That's kind of cool. Just as much sanity as the Berserker, but the difference is the Berserker loses some sanity every single turn. So it is a little different. Give me my health back. She has 100% accuracy, which is fine. A decent amount of accuracy. I guess I'll just go back to this. She also has 0 luck and 0 evasion. Thank goodness. The evasion Insanity is finally over. Pun intended. It really is on the 4th floor. 0 armor, 0 resist, 2 block, 2 ward, and 8 initiative.
So
the Sorcereress
so that you can live.
is probably going to end up being your priority target. And depending on how many offensive spells she has, I don't think she has any. It just says that she specializes in healing magic, so I couldn't see the rest of them. Also, all 4 of these new enemies
Sad
have
display from mortal kind.
features, but I couldn't mouse over them. You can't read them. So I don't know what it is. And that will really depend, that will really change the strategy that you use to counter them. Which makes sense. After all, reading comprehension is super important, as we have learned the hard way. So that's a sorceress. I actually have a question here. If I pick up this pain mirror, it does increase the damage, but does this reduce damage received from enemies by 10% as long as shade stance remains only affect the shade, or is it for everyone? Because if it's for everyone,
Get back to battle.
that's good. And I don't know, but I picked it up anyway. Also, for the 4th floor, it looks like resistance is going to be really important. Like on this 3rd floor, it's almost all physical damage. So armor is more important. But that's going to change on the 4th floor. Also, our Banshee has 40 evade now, which is pretty cool. Pretty cool. Luck and evasion, I guess. An evading Dark Knight doesn't seem very Dark Knight-y. But it is what it is. I'll talk about the others once we get into combat again, because I like doing that. Ooh.
Ah, I can use this.
The Ring of the Overlord looked a lot like the One Ring.
Hey, I want to show you a little magic trick.
A little magic trick. So we probably want to go to the right, because there's a coffin here. Sure. So let's take on another elite squad. This time there's no ranger, no dampier, no shenanigans. There are 2 dampiers up ahead, though. Alright. Hopefully now, because these are elite, I'll have a chance to actually talk for a while. That would be nice. It would be. All the enemies are going first. They're so much faster than me. Oh no, 9 damage. Whatever shall I do? Alright. Let's talk about these characters as I remove Warden and laugh at them. The next one is the Warden. The Warden is a lot like the Shield Maiden here. Very defensive. Probably has a shield slam, which is annoying. But I know for sure that he has a redirect for the entire group. Maybe it's just the people behind him. Maybe it's just one person. I don't know. It's a redirect. And he was described as a defensive warden against weird magic stuff. So, as you might guess, he has quite a bit of armor and resistance. But here we go, 250 vigor, lots of health. 22
Your frail bodies fail you.
to 24 attack, so not very offensive. 255 sanity, so a lot of sanity. 106% accuracy, just a little over 100, no big deal though. 0 evasion and 0 luck. As I mentioned, the evasion insanity is finally over. Feels good. It really does. I guess I'm going to hold 23 armor and 23 resistance. I told you. A lot of
Your
resistances.
frail bodies fail you.
0 block, 0 ward, and 5 initiative. So he's pretty slow, which is nice. This is almost enough to kill him. Well, it should be. 4 hit points. Math, it fails me again. So the Warden's basically just like a shield maiden on the next floor. The Lich or the Fallen Dampier probably going to be really good against them. to remove their insane amount of armor and resistance. Just a thought to keep in mind. The Black Widow could also work on like a lesser scale. Of course, because the Black Widow can do that. It's like 6 or 8 that she removes though, so it's up to you really.
Was your first mistake. Opposing me? Your last.
Also, the ability to interrupt stances is probably going to be really good. That's kind of helpful here now, but we just don't have it. You can run the Skelly for that, you can run the Fallen Dampier for that. I think the Bone Golem can do it? I don't actually remember. At this rate, I'm going to be talking about one enemy per combat. Which, I mean, is fine. Iratus deals if target is stunned. Huh. I mean, that's really cute with our Banshee, but unfortunately we need this evasion. And by need, I mean need. It is super helpful. Super duper helpful. We probably don't need this jar, honestly. Because we have so many refreshments coming up. And by refreshments, of course, I mean the wells. I don't know why I said refreshments. Guess we're just holding out for Dread. That's 2 more levels. Not that big of a deal. Probably not that big of a deal. 32 luck. Let's go. I always get sketched out when dealing with quests. Should I just put together a group real quick? This is probably okay. We'll find out. You continue to advance through the castle corridors, getting an unexpected but welcome reprieve from the constant combat. Progress is slow, but the thoughts of victory drive you on until you suddenly stumble across a disturbing scene. A lone, withered old man is sitting upon a fresh body. The head is chopped off and the man is holding it in his hands, carefully peeling away the flesh with a knife. He gives your undead a mad smile and then waves toward the group in front of him. Towards the ground in front of him. There, among other things, are items crafted from human bone. Let's hire him.
Oh, for my future kingdom.
Skilled hands are hard to come by, and you can already see that this human is no ordinary deranged bone crafter. There was a sublime sadism in his creations, and you wanted him at your side to see how far you will be able to hone his talents. Minions made up of 4 uncommon parts or more. More? Isn't 4 the max? Gain additional 20 vigor during combat. Interesting. Or does it mean by... Because uncommon quality is green. Does that mean it could be blue or purple and it still counts? That would make more sense. Alright, here we go. Let's not get one shot by the Dampier stance this time. Shall we? And combat means I can talk about the third character. Now this character is horrifying, to say the least. And it is the Failed Experiment. Now, their description of the Failed Experiment, thank you for stealing my mana, feels freaking rude, was a highly unstable failed experiment. And when they said highly unstable, they were not kidding. Because it explodes. It does the same self-destruct as the
This will be yours.
the Bone Golem, which means wards are going to be super, super good against it. So, bring out your lost souls, because that will help. Oh, I probably should have answered the stance so that you could... Oh, well. We'll just do that. So the failed experiments stats. It's kind of a strange stat allocation, but I like it nonetheless. Really do. It is 260 vigor. Lots of health. 66 to 104 attack. Yeah, it's gonna hurt. Speaking of hurting, ow. Freaking ow. Not just ow. So let's start doing this, right? 220 insanity, which seems a little high to me. If it's truly a failed experiment, that seems really high. But, oh well. 65% accuracy. I almost couldn't read my note for a second. So, evasion will be very helpful there. It looks like we're going to get this. Oh, we have to kill the Dampier. I mean, that's not that big of a deal. I just need to do it before she kills somebody. Because remember, I can't enter stances here. Uh, 65% accuracy, so evasion is going to be really helpful. Has 0 evade and 0 luck. So, again, free of the very irritating evasion insanity. It has 20 armor and 20 resist. So again, the Lich, Fallen Dampier, Black Widow, very helpful. 0 block and 0 ward, so you don't have to worry about that crap. And 4 initiative, so it's very slow. Can I still get a heart attack? Oh, I don't need to. I just kill it. That's fine. So that's a failed experiment.
Your service begins.
And another combat down. Now, the Shade taking that much damage, or the, whatever, yeah, Shade taking that much damage is concerning. But aren't we upon a well? We have to go through one more Dampier. Do I think I can handle it with the Shade? I don't know. Shade restores vigor, as well as mana and wrath for Iratus by 25% from damage dealt. The Halo of Chaos. At the start of each turn, minion receives 1 random bonus until the end of the turn.
Amazing.
Wow.
What they just leave lying around.
We are going to do this. Oh my goodness. Epic Blood. No one uses it from here. I'm going to give this the Shade, and I'm going to heal a little bit. Using this. We have a lot of blood.
Behold my work.
Excuse me. There we go. Back to full health. Ooh, yes. So I was looking at this earlier, and the upgrade paths are interesting. One of them is Shattering Howl, which all it does is increase the damage, but it will still guarantee that they skip their turn. Morbid Howl will hit everyone, will interrupt stances, but the target has a 50% chance, is a 50-50 whether they skip their turn or not. I kind of like the guaranteed skip. I really do. It's so useful. But we currently don't have a way to interrupt stances. So it really depends on what you're using the Banshee for, I suppose. And you can always roll the dice and get all 4 stuns and just be uber lucky.
Now, prove yourself worthy of my investment.
Which, of course, we are uber lucky. And now that I've said that, we're never going to see it. This is how it works.
My magic will shake the very foundations of this world.
We are so low on... Well, we have 50 mana. That's not too bad. Are we going all the way today, team? I think we are. I need a bone golem to put in there.
Once it gets going, that white is going to turn nice and red.
Because it's covered with blood. I get it. Let's build a headhunter. This has just been one giant tease, hasn't it? So I was going to talk about the new stuff, and it's just been me slowly dragging on about the new stuff. I'm sorry if that's irritating. But I just figured this was the best way to do it. So that I'm not just sitting here staring at Iratus and talking about it. Alright, here we go. Which allows me to talk about the final enemy that they revealed. And possibly the most terrifying. They revealed the Stormcaller. Which is awesome, because it reminds me of EverQuest Online Adventures for the PS2, where the Druids had a masterclass called Stormcaller. And I tried to get it and I failed. But that was because I already had 2 others. And leveling was a pain. But anyway, enough of this side topic. Please don't kill my shade. Thank you. Enough of the side topic because the Stormcaller is rife with crackling energy, they said. And what they showed was that he has a huge area of effect spell that deals damage to everyone in your group. So again, the Lost Soul could be very helpful. Extra wards, always amazing, always welcome. But the Stormcaller stats are actually quite similar to the Sorcereress, except slightly more offensive. 230 vigor, 52 to 55 attack,
these last few heartbeats.
210 sanity, 115 accuracy, 22 evade, 22 luck. So he's going to be the most annoying if you find evasion and luck annoying. 0 armor, 0 resist, 3 block, 3 ward, and 5 initiative. So he has the exact same block values as block and ward values as the Dampier, which is kind of annoying. We could move forward once more. Yeah, let's do it in case the Dampier tries to kill me. I did change that so that instead of getting us dread, it gives us block and ward, because that's helpful. So the ability to remove blocks and wards will be very helpful against the Stormcaller and the Sorceress, which again the Black Widow can do. And then you can use her to reduce armor and resistance, and holy crap, this shade item is bonkers strong. It's ridiculous. Well, let me just... Nah, I don't really need to. So let's just use some spells, but we'll hold on. I'm a hoarder. But as I've already mentioned, the Lost Soul, probably going to be really helpful. I did write down some of my thoughts, and my thoughts weren't very complicated. It was just that the Lost Soul's ward will be super helpful. The Lich and Fallen Dampier's ability to remove armor and resistance will be really good against the Warden and the other thing. Failed experiments. Huh. Yeah, look at that. That is a lot of damage, but it doesn't do anything if we don't hit her. So. And if we kill this guy, she'll join us and solve our problem. Thanks, lady.
If this keeps up, I'll be done purging the world ahead of schedule.
The Coward's Foot. So that was my very long, drawn-out explanation of all the new characters. After killing an enemy, the minion who dealt the killing blow receives a 2 vigor buff for the rest of the game. Huh. You know, I was talking to someone about potential new creations for Iratus, and I think something we mentioned was the ability to buff permanently. And I didn't think that system was in the game. But it is. Fascinating. Huh. We have so many Fallen Dampiers, I don't even know what to do with them. I'll have to let him know. What does this do? All opponents randomly swapped positions and gain 15% chance to escape. So I want this.
I expect results.
I want reduced evasion. And give me more evasion. Thank you. Thank you, Iratus. I appreciate it. We're going to want that. Spoiler alert, we're going to want that. Have this, I suppose. There, we can get the Dread upgrade. We could try... I think I already mentioned this, but I did learn that you can put 2 of anything in here. So if we wanted, say, a legendary ectoplasm, we could put 2 legendaries in here, but see, that chance is still really skewed. It's kind of sketchy. Kind of super sketchy. And you know what? Now that I've talked about the 4 new enemies, and we've created a concoction that seems all-powerful, we are going to save the last boss for next time. So thank you all for watching. I hope that you enjoyed. We have 1 more episode for the grand experiments of the Defiler. And only 2 more combats, so it's going to be a short one. But I hope that you look forward to it either way. The Mistover DLC Round 2 for our Shenanigans playthrough will begin... That's like New Game Plus, Round 2. Will begin tomorrow, if you are watching this on the day that this released, March 12th, if you are interested. If not, I don't mind. But just know that'll be popping up for the main series on Fableheim for a little bit. So I hope you stick around and enjoy. But don't worry, Iratus, Lord of the Dead, will return, maybe with a harder difficulty. We shall see. See you next time.